Hey guys, Chase Bunker here. If you watched the previous episode, you've heard me complaining about how much my computer sucks because my video got corrupted. Well, the same thing happened with episode 3, so once again, we're gonna hear some gameplay footage of Curtis and I playing League of Legends. And, oh hey, we found a match!
Sweet.
Yeah, so we're gonna play some League of Legends. Hopefully, we don't suck. Um, Basically, we just wanted some video just so we can put it next to, our audio. And who are we gonna play as?
I got Oriana, who I
I
have, or not
got
Oriana, Aurelia. Sorry,
I got Nunu, and I really don't want that. Anyways, guys, enjoy the video. Or the audio, I should say.
one of the two.
Yeah. Hey guys, welcome to That Game Show, the show that talks about all the stuff in the nerd world and all the stuff in between. I am Chase Bunker, joined with the half-Asian sensation Curtis Coe,
Hello.
the married man with the glowing headset Daniel Clegg,
Hello.
and the man that only needs one name to help find out who he is, Murph Murphy.
How's it going, guys?
Doing great. All right, lots to talk about in the special Halloween edition, but funny story going in. We originally were just like, all right, let's go Halloween because the entire news this week has just been straight crap. And then 2 hours.
week.
Yeah, it pretty much just sucked. And then 2 hours prior to shoot, Marvel just had this massive event that released all the movies coming out.
Marvel brought out like 5 microphones and dropped them all. Like,
Yeah,
At the same
they
time.
dropped
Yeah.
every single one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Did you guys hear all those sound effects that I was dropping? Apparently, I by accident or intentionally.
No.
No.
Okay,
No.
No.
never mind. So I was talking about this, and so we put the trailers in our little robot box, and I clicked on one of them. I was like, it'll just load up. And then suddenly I started hearing like a jackhammer, and then like an explosion. I was like, what is going on? Who's playing these sounds? I was like, oh, it's me.
Oops.
Nothing but professionalism here on That Game Show.
Well, exactly. But well, I mean, like, have you guys seen the ones that are coming out? Like, I am super hyped for this lineup.
All right.
Oh yeah.
I don't have the list in front of me. Curtis, I believe you do.
Yes,
What do you got coming
I do.
out?
Well, starting from the one that's coming first, it seems like the first one to come out is going to be after, of course, Phase 2, which will end at Age of Ultron, will be Captain America Civil War. And I believe following that is, I can't see where
I think
the
Thor,
Guardians
I
of the
think.
Galaxy is one.
I guess Thor Ragnarok is next in
think
2017.
Oh no, sorry, Doctor Strange, 2016.
Oh,
Yeah, Doctor Strange comes out
Oh.
November 4th, 2016. Guardians of the Galaxy 2, May 5th, 2017. Thor comes out 2017. Black Panther in November. The first part of the Avengers Infinity War comes out May 4th, 2018. Captain
parts
Marvel is coming out in the female Captain Marvel, I should say. It comes out in
All right.
July 6th, 2018. The Inhumans is November of the same year, and then 2019 is going to be the second part of Avengers Infinity War.
Oh God, this is so good. This is
What
so
are you guys
good.
excited for?
Just in case you haven't seen it yet, the Black Panther concept art looks fantastic.
Yeah, it does.
And of course,
It's-
we'll have all these links and stuff in the description down below. If you're
Absolutely.
watching via YouTube, unless you're on Podbean, then you're kind of SOL, and you should go onto
You
YouTube.
can find it. You can
Yeah.
find it anywhere. It's
Exactly.
Go
not
to
hard
IGN,
to
it's all there.
Yeah.
Captain America though is what I'm super excited for.
I like.
Civil
I'm excited
War.
for Civil War and then the Infinity War as well.
Mhm.
You know what? It's going to be a little weird because Civil War was all about secret identities,
Hmm.
and there are no secret identities.
I think it's the article says that they stated it's going to be about who's working for who, not necessarily who. Not
okay.
It's not about who are you. It's about who are you working for, who are you tied to.
So-
What government are you serving? What group?
Is
That sort of thing.
is Spider-Man going to be back into Disney's hand? Well, back, but in Disney's hands in time for Civil War, because that's kind of a really central plot line to the Civil War plot line. If I can get a little nerdy here.
It was when it was all about revealing who you were, who your identity was. We know who all the heroes are in the movie universe. You know,
There's nobody
Yeah.
who has a secret
no
identity.
one had secret identity.
That's true.
Current Marvel
I
universe.
think they could get away without them, which
From what-
is unfortunate because
From
it
what
would've
I'm
been great.
hearing, if Spider-Man does show up, it probably will not be. A lot of people are saying if it happens, it'll probably be an Infinity War.
I've heard a rumor that, granted, this is a rumor, we've heard them all over the place that they're working to at least get Spider-Man and not Wolverine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which
But-
I guess is I would like to have both because let's face it, like if you're gonna have Marvel, you have all of them, and I know that why Fox is keeping close ties to them because they want to get that money. But let's face it, like I want my Wolverine and I want my Spider-Man with my Avengers. Is that
Yeah.
bad? Am I?
No,
I think
like
No,
it's
no, no, no.
perfectly legit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree with you.
I think you're wrong.
Like,
I'm going to disagree. I think the movie universe for the X-Men at this point is its own thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Just the fact that they have 2 different Scarlet Witches and 2 different Quicksilvers
Yeah.
There's
shows
not two
that
different
separation.
There's not 2 different Scarlet Witches yet.
What's the... Well, no. There was
Quicksilver.
There's 2 different Quicksilvers.
Quicksilver.
The one that we assume is Scarlet Witch
Yeah,
is in Days of Future
Days
Past.
of Future
but-
Past.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
okay.
She's never really.
Yeah.
It's not confirmed yet. Okay, well,
Yeah.
the fact that they have 2 Quicksilvers, we'll say, shows that they're going for that universe separation. They have 2 different actors for it. They're not going to do a crossover. They're just not.
it's so terrible.
But the X-Men don't really have anything to do with the Civil War. I mean, they have a very minor storyline that happens, but it's not part of the main Civil War. Like, the main Civil War is really all about Captain America, Iron Man, and Spider-Man. And if they're doing away with the whole, secret identity thing, there's no reason to have him. Why would they? They don't care. I kind of wonder if Sony was like, please pay us money to take Spider-Man back, and Marvel's like, why? We don't need it. We're printing money at this point.
Well,
I mean,
if I can
they are.
bring this back to video games. How?
Oh, is that what we're supposed to be talking about?
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's right.
What's the over under on? So how many bad licensed video games are we
All
going
of
to get out of
them are-
this?
All of them. Every
I'm
single one is
actually-
going to be
How many
bad.
bad ones?
Bad ones.
What was, maybe you guys can remember, because I sure as heck can't. What was the name of those games that came out? It was on the original Xbox. It was kind of like Gauntlet, and they did the whole Civil War storyline and everything.
Oh, Ultimate Alliance.
Yep.
Ultimate Alliance. All they have to do is do an HD version of it, spit it out. They'll just print money.
Yeah.
It's a good game. It's good.
And I
Why?
Going back to what Murph said, the bad superhero games I think are slowly fading out because I think with Batman, what Batman did with, the whole Arkham Asylum trilogy has kind of put a step forward towards good games. And you have Injustice that came out, which was
We've seen what a good video game can be.
yeah, we've seen what can happen, and I think now you're looking at developers saying, okay, we need to make it like this. We don't want another Superman 64. We don't want another Aquaman. We need to make the combat fluid. We need a good story, and
We need
just
to
can't
invest
screw it up.
money and time into it.
I mean-
That's what it comes down to.
Counterpoint: Legend of Korra just came out this month.
Yeah.
Just getting
Ah.
scathed in the reviews.
So
It's-
bad.
It's funny because I don't watch it.
I
It's
don't.
such-
I watched
Oh,
the
it's so
original. I
good.
haven't watched this one.
So
but
good. Plug, if you haven't watched Legend of Korra, it is fantastic. It is easily on par, if not better, than the original series.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, especially the last 2 seasons, I think, alone are just ridiculous.
Hold on a
So,
second. My roommate's talking to me
animation.
as I'm recording. What's up, roommate?
The animation quality is...
I'm recording my podcast video that you don't watch.
Look, my wife doesn't listen to my podcast.
What'd you do to your
so-
phone as I'm recording? Holy crap! What did you do?
This is great radio
I can
right
tell.
now.
I
I
will
know.
eviscerate you.
This is great radio.
This is great radio.
Yeah, we
You
can
watch
we can
this
edit.
on
We
YouTube.
edit this part out, right?
That's fine. That's
I-
fine.
No,
We
it
don't
would.
edit this part
So-
out.
Does anybody watch Agents of Shield?
Is that?
Do you
No,
watch
I
it?
watched
I'm
the first
sure
couple
Murph
episodes.
went
I-
on maybe
I tried. I
Years ago.
really did try. I tried to like it, and then I was just like, no, sorry,
Out dumb
Joss
dog.
Whedon.
Out dumb dog.
I have a suspicion about who Miss Marvel is. Captain Marvel is. I think she's a character in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I think she's Sky. I
Is
would
that,
not...
is that hacker chick or is that
Yeah,
Asian chick?
Because it's the hacker chick.
Okay.
Because in
God,
recent
I feel
season,
Go ahead. Keep on going.
she is like a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent. She does field work and everything like that. She's already been injected with the Kree serum. We already know that she's not human. So either A, she's an Inhuman, which would play into that final Marvel movie, The Inhumans, or she's Captain Marvel. And if they play their cards right, it makes a lot of sense for her to be Captain Marvel.
Okay, so I know nothing about that show.
Yep.
And there were spoilers in it that I don't understand. But what we can take from that is I like that about the Marvel Universe, is that the movies and the TV shows that they're doing are in the same universe. They can cross-pollinate with each other. They have actors jumping to and from. And storylines like that show up in both the TV and the movies, which DC is not doing with
Except
their...
for
Cross
Arrow
pollen,
their
we're not dealing with plants. We're dealing
Arrow-
with superheroes.
Arrow and Flash are in the same universe, though.
Yes,
They
but
have
they
said that
don't share
Arrow
the
and
universe
Flash.
with the movies, right? The movies and the TV
Constantine.
shows
Well,
are
we
different.
don't know that yet.
No, they said Constantine
they've
was not
said-
crossing over.
No, I
to-
mean Arrow. We
No,
don't
they-
know. This.
They've
no,
said
they've
that
said that the shows are separate. They've
Because there's
casted
gonna
Darn,
be
I
an
would
Arrow.
love to see Steven
No,
Amell
there's going to
play.
be a different Flash in the
There's-
movies,
yeah.
right?
Guys,
Yeah.
guys, we can
Anyways,
as
off
nerds
topic.
we can argue about comics for literally forever, and this is
Off topic.
I have a game
Yeah.
that I want to try out. Dang it! It's
All
already
right.
bad enough. I've got one interruption that I'm not going to edit out because I'm lazy.
Sorry, this
Oh,
is just
God.
really exciting.
Completely off topic, but well, quick question actually for everybody. They did release the DC. What DC's planning on doing? Who do you think has the stronger of the
Marvel.
two?
this is not a question.
Marvel.
Well, I mean,
Marvel.
they have Aquaman as Jason Momoa. They have, a pretty decent looking Wonder Woman, Dawn of Justice. Do you think that they have a shot against?
Here's,
No.
I can easily stop this. I can easily put this argument to bed. Marvel has immediately put out Guardians of the Galaxy, which is phenomenal, Avengers, which is phenomenal, Captain America and Winter Soldier. Right now, we have movies and we know how good they are. Granted,
Exactly.
they have put out, like, they've announced Inhumans and Doctor Strange. We don't know how those are going to be, but we automatically assume they're going to be great. Right now, DC is on that edge right now because everybody's pissed off that Ben Affleck is Batman. People were kind of meh with Henry Cavill being Superman, which I thought he was good.
I thought he was okay.
I thought he was
Thought
good.
was bad.
Don't get me wrong. I'm excited for Dawn of Justice, but
Mm-hmm.
right now, because we don't see a lot of what's going on, we have to give it to Marvel.
Yeah,
Marvel
well,
right now
exactly.
has that.
Marvel
we
took
don't
an
know with
unknown.
DC.
Yeah, Marvel took an unknown property, Guardians of the Galaxy. Nobody knew what that was, and made it the arguably best movie of the summer.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah,
So
I don't think there's an argument there. I think it is the best movie of the summer.
it is. Like what's funny is that Marvel's put out probably the two best movies of the year with Winter Soldier and Guardians.
Mhm.
All right, with
Point.
that, it is game time. Clegg is taking a break because he's doing it every other week. We are doing a game called Closest to the Pin, where I will name reviews from certain websites, and our panels have to guess your score. I got the idea from the Jim Phillips and the Phillips file of Real Radio 104.1. Just want to give him a little shout out, just in case of
I think they're
lawsuit.
doing okay without us.
They're doing okay, but I don't want like Jim Phillips to like randomly just be like that game show, and then
So-
he goes, "He stole my game."
I think
So
we're good. I think we're okay.
Clegg, Jet, if you can, remove your headphones, and at
Okay.
the first sign, when I put my hand up like this, it'll be
Okay.
Clegg's turn, and then after that, it'll be Curtis's turn. All right?
What
Okay.
about
Alright.
what about?
Murph goes first.
Murph.
He goes first.
Oh, I'm going first, so keep my
Oh,
headphones
okay.
on.
Okay.
All
I
right.
got you.
Okay.
All right. You cannot hear me, right, Curtis?
I can't hear you now.
That's good. Okay. All right, Murph. The category is Nintendo 64 games ratings according to GameRankings.com. They go from 1 to 100, and they also add a 10th decimal. Are you ready?
I didn't have an N64, but I'm ready. Let's do it.
All right. Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time.
Okay, so who is this? Who rated it?
Game Rankings.
Is it? Oh fuck. 9.
No, it's 1 to 100.
Oh, 1 to 100. Oh, so 95.
95. Pokemon Snap.
That was okay. So that was that's a solid 75.
Tonic Trouble.
Tonic. What the fuck?
Yeah. Language.
70.
70.
Yeah.
Turok 2: Seeds of Evil.
Okay, that was kind of universally panned, so I'm gonna go with 65.
Daikatana.
Oh, I think okay. This was notoriously bad. I'm gonna go with 20.
20. All right, you are done.
All right.
Clegg, you are up.
You
All
calling me?
right. Right now, the category is Nintendo 64 games reviewed their collective score according to GameRankings.com. They go from 1 to 100, and they also add a 10th decimal. So if you want to get really specific, go right on ahead. Are
Okay.
you ready?
Yes.
All
Are
right.
we doing multiple games here, or just?
Yeah, it's 5 games.
Okay.
Ready? Here we go. Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time.
95.2 is what I would give it.
Pokemon Snap.
Put, ew. 72. 0. Yeah, not as
Tonic
good.
Trouble.
Sonic Trouble?
Tonic Trouble.
I have no idea what that is, so I'm going to give it a 50.
Turok 2 Seeds of Evil.
35. I don't know what that one is either.
Daikatana.
Oh, let's give that one a 65.
65. All right. Thank you, sir. Jet.
Can I stay?
Yeah, you can stay.
Or do I leave? Okay.
Aye, Captain.
Murph, get Murph. You can stay on, Murph. You can stay on. It's not like you're gonna cheat off
Okay.
them or anything. All right, Jet. The category is Nintendo 64 games reviewed by
Ooh.
GameRankings.com. Their collective
Okay.
score. They
Okay.
go from 1 to 100, and they also have the 10th decimal spot.
When you say the 10th decimal, does that mean there's a 5 and then a 0, or does
As
that
in,
mean
it could
there's
be
0 through?
81.1.
Got it.
Or
Got it.
etc.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Ready.
Here we go. Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time.
96.
Pokemon Snap.
Pokemon Snap. Oof. 8.
8 out of 1 to 100. You're gonna give it an
I like Pokemon Snap. Fuck
out
you.
of a 1 to 100 scale. You're gonna give it an 8.
No, like 100 is
excuse
good.
me. An
100
80.
is good.
80.
80. Oops.
Tonic Trouble.
Tonic Trouble. Tonic Trouble. I remember playing Tonic Trouble. It was kind of crap, so I'm going to say a 60.
60.
Man, I'm used to going on 10 point scales.
I know. Turok 2 Seeds of Evil.
85.
Daikatana.
50.
All right, here
All
we
right.
go. Results. Starting off with The Legend of Zelda. Murph
All right.
gave it a 95. Jet gave it a 96. Clegg, 95.2. The winner.
I lost.
Jet, the score was actually a 97.5.
I wanted to go 100.
Pokemon
This is
Snap.
really good.
I've
I think
never
that was-
played it.
Oh, so good. So
Murph.
good.
Oh, by the way, for we're doing a point for every whoever gets the closest, and if you're on the dot within 0.5, you get 2 points.
Oh, nice.
So we have Pokemon Snap. Jet said 80. Clegg said 72. Murph gets 2 points. 75. It is actually 75.4.
Wow.
Yeah!
Wow.
We were close,
That's
Curtis. We were close.
I was a little high on that one. I like that game more than a lot of people.
I did
Tonic-
not like that
I-
game.
I like that game too.
Oh.
It was a stupid concept, but man,
It was a dumb concept, but it was a lot of fun.
I remember getting an N64 and realizing that there wasn't a true Pokemon game on the platform, so I had to go get Pokemon Snap, and I was really excited and then really disappointed
Pokemon
afterward.
Stadium, man.
Stadium's
Pokemon
good.
Stadium.
Man.
Hey, you
I-
Pikachu!
I must
Oh,
not
that
have
was
known about that
awful.
one, or it wasn't out yet. I forget.
I don't think it was
Pokemon
out.
Puzzle League.
I think I think I'm as the old guy on the podcast. I
You don't enjoy
These
Pokemon?
kids and their
I
Pokemons!
was a little too old for Pokemon Snap.
I gotcha. I gotcha.
Moving on. Tonic Trouble. Murph said 70. Jet 60. Clegg was the closest. The actual score 53.3. Clegg
Ooh.
got 50.
What
No,
was
no.
that game? What is
It
Tonic
was
Trouble?
a-
Here, I'll link it. I'll
Okay.
link it
Yep, it was something awful.
because
Don't link
I
it
remember-
yet. Don't link it yet.
All right,
because
okay.
I'm
I'll watch. I'll react
okay,
later.
okay.
It's bad.
It's bad.
All right.
I remember
It's
playing it. It was pretty bad.
Glitchy. Like I think it was like the predecessor to Rayman 2 or something like that. 'Cause I think like,
It looks a lot like Rayman.
well, it's a lot worse than Rayman 2. All right.
Yes.
Turok 2, Seeds of Evil. Murph gave it a 65. Jet gave it an 85. Clegg 35.
Wow.
Clegg, how could you? Because it was a great game.
I have no idea.
The actual score 88.9. Jet with the point.
Nice.
We are now tied. Murph 2, Jet 2, Clegg 1. Alrighty.
It's okay. You'll come back, Clegg. I have
I'm,
faith.
I'm
And
feeling
now
it on
the
this
final
last one.
game. One of the biggest busts of all time. Next to Duke Nukem Forever.
John Romero is going to make you his bitch.
I remember that. It's just like,
That's the tagline. Yep, he
All
made
right.
us our bitch because he fucked us.
yeah.
Anyways,
Great, I'm going to have to put a censor
sorry.
on this.
Sorry.
You're just making
All right.
everything hard.
Daikatana. Murph gave it a 20. Jet gave it a 50. Clegg, 65. The winner
Let me just not me.
Could be
is
if you get 2 points.
42.3.
Oh.
Jet gets the game.
No!
No.
Have any of you guys actually played Daikatana?
No, why would I ever waste my time on
Oh,
that?
it's so bad. It's so
It's
bad.
unplayable. It's almost unplayable.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Yes.
I just remember
Don't play.
JonTron's review and just like he plays and like he says how awful it is. Like this is the first 15 minutes of the game.
I'm sorry, I was too busy playing Ocarina of Time, like, over and over again. That's all I really remember
No,
from
we were too busy
64 days.
enjoying Pokemon Snap.
We were too busy
Gosh.
playing actually good games like Banjo-Kazooie and Donkey Kong
Oh.
64 and
Oh.
All right.
But
So, gentlemen,
GoldenEye.
with Halloween upon us, we see a lot of horror games come out. We just had Alien Isolation come out. It's getting mixed reviews, but like the people who love it, like they really love it. Evil Within came out, which, mind you, during it wasn't like released yet, but like a lot of people were saying, yeah, this game's actually bad. And then it came out and said, yeah, this actually is actually good now. We've had a lot of, especially, wow, can I like not talk? We've had even indie classics like Five Nights at Freddy's coming out. So right now, how do you think the horror genre is looking? Do you think it's like it's kind of good, kind of bad, or is it right now we're seeing a little bit of an uprise because you're seeing a lot of more creative ways to scare you? Mind you, also PT just came out and just the demo of it scared the piss out of everybody.
Yeah, that's true.
I can take this, and I'm excited with for horror games in the indie space. I'm not as excited in the AAA space. I think indie games are really well equipped to deal with horror because, quite frankly, horror isn't about like flashy graphics and like high-res models. In fact, the classic story, don't show the monster too much, or the classic rule, don't show the monster too much or too early. And this is kind of where the indie games kind of can shine. Polygon came out today with a list of like free horror games that are freaking scary. Hold on, oh no, I clicked away from it.
No.
But like, there's some of the like the creepiest horror games have been. Are you guys Twine, which is a sort of choose your own adventure style thing?
I've
And
heard
it's
of it.
it's all like just text, and those are some of the creepiest things. Like my father's long legs. I just tell you, the title on that just freaks me the hell out.
Yeah.
The Last
Does it involve
Door.
spiders? It sounds like it involves spiders.
It doesn't. It's kind of worse actually.
There's nothing worse than spiders, Murph. You know this.
Like a dark room, and like I think the indie, like, and even in the more popular indie space with Amnesia and Amnesia: A Machine for Pigs, which is like my overall best title for a sequel ever. Like every sequel should be named A Machine for Pigs.
What?
Avengers
It's in like
2,
a
A Machine for
slaughterhouse
Pigs.
too, isn't
Yeah.
it?
I completely agree with you, Murph, because like you said, in the indie space, it's really good because you had games like Amnesia, which kind of like redefine horror. It's not like you don't see the monster, and everything's based off of light and it's based off of silence. I thought that was brilliant. Five Nights at Freddy's, first off, makes me never want to go to a Chuck E. Cheese ever again. Are you guys both?
I have
I
no
was
idea.
already in that category. I don't want to
I
go to
don't
a Chuck
wanna
E.
go
Cheese.
No, have you guys know about it?
No,
No.
I don't know.
Five
about
Nights or Chuck E. Cheese?
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah.
I know about Chuck E. Cheese, but I wasn't allowed to go there as a child.
Five Nights at Freddy's is about you play a security guard at like a Chuck E. Cheese, but but in order to keep the machines running or
Well,
keep the machines running overnight, and they eventually become psychotic, and if they see somebody that's not a robot, they want to shove you into a robot suit because they think you're out of costume. And so you don't move. You are literally in this one little room, and you have control of the cameras, and they kind of have that weeping angel syndrome of if you can see them, they won't move. Now, to
Oh.
throw a kink in all this, there is one character that goes off of paranoia. If you go too often, he will run after you, and he ignores the weeping angels rule. If you don't look often enough, he will come after you. So the only things you control are the two lights that are right beside you, the two doors right beside you, and the cameras. All the while maintaining power to last you until 6 a.m.
Ah.
It is creepy, and it's like Amnesia where it's like they don't use a lot of gore or violence. They use like silence and the threat
Visceral.
of danger.
Uh-huh.
right,
Well-
and I have some problems with Five Nights at Freddy's in that they tend to use the jump scare, which I think is the cheapest form of
It is, yeah.
scare, but also they kind of effectively use the dread, just kind of waiting, and like you said, the silence.
Yeah.
And it's not like I'm not a fan of like the hostels and the gore horror. Like
Yeah.
this is like a crazy dog or a chicken. It's not. It's just supposed to be the ordinary turned like slightly to the left, and so suddenly everything's scary. Like I really like that about Five Nights at Freddy's.
You know, and one of the things I think actually why the AAA industry cannot make good horror games is because everything has to have guns, everything has to have weapons, And a lot of times that almost in a way takes the horror out of it, that you're helpless. You have a flashlight, you maybe have a pistol with like 2 bullets or something like that. And like Dead Space, the original, was really scary at the beginning, and then you got these big guns and it stopped being scary.
Right.
And likewise, multiplayer. I'm sorry, it's just not as scary when you have people to play with.
I mean, it's about
that's-
disempowerment, not
Although it
empowerment.
can
Yeah.
be more entertaining.
Yes,
It can be. But sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say like I enjoy playing like a nice multiplayer like horror campaign because we're all experiencing it together. It's not like it's like empowerment thing. Like I would love to do like a game of like if it was Dead Space co-op where it's like, okay, we're very low on ammo. Hey, let's go check out that hole. I'd really rather not, but it makes it for entertaining dialogue.
Well,
Nothing
how
bad
good
can
would
happen in the hole.
how good would a game like that be if one of the players chosen at random was a mole?
Oh my
that would
gosh.
be
Like, and
good. But
I
have
would
you
love
guys
that.
played Battlestar Galactica, the board game?
No.
yeah, I have.
So there's
Yeah.
in the Battlestar Galactica board game, for context, there is not always a Cylon, which is the bad guy in the series. So there might be someone who is working against you, or there might not be. And then it's kind of the paranoia of trying to like question everyone.
Sounds like
Yeah.
Avalon.
Yeah,
It is,
a lot.
except
It's the game
for
that ruins friendships.
Avalon always has bad guys, and Battlestar Galactica doesn't always have
So you don't
silence.
know one way or the
So it's
other.
one of those like paranoia that you know what you are, but you really at the end of the day are wondering if the person you just elected president might be that person that's going to kill you.
Oh, jeez.
Alright. What is let's go down memory lane. What is some of your best horror game moments? We'll start off with Curtis.
Oh God.
'Cause I know
Okay.
you teased us
Yeah.
with the story, so you have to
Yes.
say.
Okay. So I have a really good story that has to do with Fear, the game back this is 2007. I still to this day do not think the game is terribly scary. Like the beginning, again, it's very scary. It has some very scary elements, but again, that kind of suspense. You don't know when things are going to jump out at you. So we were hanging out at a good friend of ours' house, and I was kind of laying on the couch. And I was kind of a little bit sleepy. I was kind of falling asleep. And all of a sudden, there's this part where you're walking through the water. And all of a sudden, a skeleton just pops in front of the screen. And so I freaked out. And I threw our friend who was playing the game in front of the TV. And he's not like a tiny guy either. He's a big guy. And I was like much thinner than I was now. So it was the equivalent of me tossing this super... So... And I still feel awful about it to this day because I'm totally that guy in the zombie apocalypse that throws people in front of the zombies.
Oh, and you
'Cause
forgot the part where you were both screaming like little children.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
hilarious.
So I was screaming, and he was screaming because I grabbed him and threw
From
so-
behind. While the
from
skeleton
behind.
was
So and
jumping
it was
out
in
front of him.
It was in a dark room and everything too. So yeah, we haven't played any horror games when I was sleepy since then.
Leg, do you have one?
Well, I can tell you that I really enjoyed the first half of Amnesia: The Dark Descent, and I got about halfway through and stopped playing, and I enjoyed the first half of Dead Space, and then I got scared to stop playing, and there are a few more on the list. I never finish horror games because I invariably play at night because I want to get it. That's how you're supposed to play these games, and I can't finish that because I won't sleep for the next 2 days.
Nice.
So I enjoy the first half of those games, and that's about it. It might be entertaining, actually, to turn the camera on and do one of
Yeah.
those
I
play
I
at
thought
night
about
while
doing
others
that
watch.
I just got Doom
videos.
for $5 on
I
Steam.
do have Amnesia, the first one. I've never played it before. I'm told.
Yeah, that one's that
Actually,
one will get you going.
If I can do a plug for Humble Bundle, the latest Humble Bundle just came out, and you get for beating the average, which is currently around $6, you get Amnesia: A Machine for Pigs.
You just love saying that line, don't you?
I do. I mean, also there's some other really good games in there as well.
It's on Steam?
It's on Steam.
Humble Bundle.
Are you aware of Humble Bundle?
Isn't
I
that
am.
just a category on Steam?
No. So go to this is one of my favorite charities because you pay money and for an absurd amount of money for free or for video games. Like hold on, let me
I know, like, you've given me a lot of free games. Like, you gave me Bastion and FTL, which were both phenomenal. And I was really disappointed to find out that Jamestown is a game that I've been wanting to get for a while. Like, was on a previous one that I didn't know about. But yeah, you pay, like, you can pay literally like $1 and you get like a whole bunch of these free games. But like, there's beat the average. Like, if the average is $5, you get all these games plus like a few other ones.
So there are tiers to your
And they all go to charity.
commitment.
They have like mobile ones as well. They have book ones. Like they have I think what's left of for today only the 28th. They have all the Star Wars comics or a good amount of Star Wars comics.
And this is offered from Steam or from a different website?
It's from a different website, but they give you Steam keys.
Oh.
And
Is this a
Murph has
monthly subscription? Or
It's a weekly thing. You just buy it as you like.
Man.
So
Also, plug Shadowrun Returns is on there. Very good game.
So
So-
that's also a good game. So
Humble
Bundle. So for
Humble Bundle.
Humble
Humble
Bundle.
Bundle.
So for
Humble Bundle.
$6, you get, and I'm kind of spoiling something here. You get 4 copies of Risk of Rain, an excellent game. Jazzpunk, another excellent game. Amnesia, a machine for pigs. Tower of Guns, a kind of neat roguelike first-person shooter. Insanely Twisted Shadow Planet, which I have no idea what's that about.
They
And
played
Ollie
that on
Ollie.
Steam Train.
And Ollie
Ollie
Ollie,
Ollie,
which
yeah.
is a skateboard game.
Which is also very good if you like the old like Tony Hawk games.
So this is, and for $12 also you get all of that and Shadowrun Returns. Like, this is literally the best deal in gaming.
Yeah.
Wow, that is really good.
Unfortunately, it doesn't include the Dragonfall, which is even better than the original game.
So Murph, as you drink your fancy
Right.
wine, do you have a good horror game story?
So I want to do 2, but I'm going to limit myself to 1, and I already said that I don't like jump scares, so I'm not going to give that one. But so there's a indie game, because I'm apparently the indie guy, called Capsule, where you're in this indeterminate area. There's not a lot of resources. There's like, you're constantly trying to find fuel and oxygen as you pilot this capsule through this like area filled with you can't really tell what they are because you've got just a radar screen to navigate. So there's this sense of isolation and vulnerability as these things that just kind of scream at you from outside your capsule, and whenever you get near them on the radar, and you're like, oh my god. So one night I closed my door, I shut off my lights, and it's a short game. I beat it in like 2 hours, and I just kind of played through it and kind of had this really immersive, like I had my noise canceling headphones on, and I just kind of played through this really like vulnerable, kind of navigate through this indeterminate landscape. And meanwhile, there's this kind of creepy story that's sort of being revealed through these logs that you find. And it was a really just nice experience, and I enjoy it a lot.
I've got 2, but one of them is really short. One of them was back when Doom 3 came out for the Xbox. Curtis and I rented it. We played it over at my place. And it was literally just something simple as picking up an ammo box. And like, oh, cool, ammo. And then all of a sudden, like, this hellspawn just comes out. And we were just like, holy crap! And we just paused it, and we just immediately, like, walked away for a few minutes. The other one, which I could talk about because his birthday did just pass, Clegg was coming into town. He was visiting from college from Miami. And we lived at the time much north of Miami. And it was our friend Josh's birthday. And,
I remember this.
Ben was playing Dead Space, and of course, as always, we turned off every light. If there was a little bit of light coming out from the outside, we shut it out. So Clegg texts me, and he says, hey, I'm right outside your door. And I go, hold on, I want you to come out through the back. And so he comes
I think Josh didn't know I was
Josh
coming
didn't
either.
know that you were coming. And so
Right,
I let my dog out, and I make it look like I'm just letting the dog out, and you guys come in. You have like these big robot, like death robot costumes coming in, and then we all creep behind Josh, and like right as the scary part was about to come, we just on 3 just go 1, 2, 3, and we all grab Josh, and I've never seen a man quickly just like scream and then shift into the fetal position.
I think he peed himself.
I'm pretty sure
He got
he
pretty
did.
close. He got pretty close.
And he just starts like screaming fetal position and swearing like crazy, and then he of course found out that it was you guys, and he was really happy. But man, that scream was so satisfying. So
Good.
final
Mhm.
thoughts on the horror thing. Do you guys have a favorite horror movie at all?
You will never find the Necromonicon.
That's cheating.
That's
I actually really enjoyed a movie Chase and I just saw. I think it was last year.
Yeah.
It was called You're Next.
I enjoyed that too.
I enjoyed that one. It's again, it's not. Can we call it a horror movie? I mean, it was
Yeah, we could
kind of
call it a
slasher.
horror movie.
It's kind of a slasher movie, but it was
Slasher.
really intense. Like it had those really quiet moments that Murph was talking about. That they would just like all of a sudden you would see what was going to happen, and you'd be like, and they would wait like 10 or 15 seconds before actually doing it, and it was just real well
Yeah, it
done.
was
I
really
enjoyed the heck out of it.
Clegg, you got one?
For me, it's The Shining. I read the book before I watched the movie, and in both cases, I could not sleep. That's the theme with me, I guess, with horror. I couldn't sleep afterwards. It was so scary. That movie sticks with me to this day. It's just, I don't know if it's the music or the imagery. It scared the shit out of me. Growing up, it really did.
Murph, do you got one?
I do, and it's probably unusual. I guess Harry Potter was in one recently. I think The Woman in White.
Oh, Woman in Black.
Woman in Black.
Yeah.
And that it
Woman
had
in White's called Marriage, though that is scary. Am I right? Am I right? As the one single
What?
guy in the call.
The one non-married guy suddenly realized he's outnumbered.
Yeah. No, but it just had a really like Daniel Radcliffe shows that he actually has acting chops in this movie. There's a lot of just silence and dread and not a lot of like jump scares and not a lot of gore. So I just kind of really appreciate that.
For mine, I have a few, but like one of my all-time favorites is Cabin in the Woods because I just love that movie so much. I love Collector. Final Destination 5 is another one, which like the other ones were like meh. Oh, excuse me, 3 and 4 were like awful, but then like they come back with 5, and 5 was like really satisfying. The other ones I always recommend are VHS 1 and 2. Like they're really good. They're just like they're a bunch of short found footage films, but like the way that they do it is really well done, and you're just like, holy crap! It's not jump scare. Like it's high intensity, very well done movie.
I have to give what is it? Cabin Fever, because it gives us the line. Professor Dog. Yeah, he's a professor of being a dog.
Oh, I forgot about that line. Oh my gosh! I remember like what was it like when they were promoting that movie? Like Peter Jackson said, "It's the next best thing since," and I forget what it said. It's like,
yeah, no,
oh, Peter Jackson said that, then it might be pretty interesting. And I watched, and I was just like,
such a bad movie.
What is this?
One of the things I really like bad movies, but bad movies that are like my favorite movie ever, hands down, Demolition Man.
Never saw it.
Oh my god.
So that'll tell you a little bit about my taste in movies.
That's not the worst movie ever, though.
It's not Sharknado.
It's not Troll 2.
Oh, I love Troll 2, but I think
Troll 2 is hilarious.
It's not Airplane versus Volcano.
When you say Demolition Man, I think One-Eyed Scotsman from Team Fortress 2.
Love it.
We're talking about the same thing.
No, it's
I'm trying to bring it back to games, guys. That's all.
All right.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Audible.
I got
Audible time. You guys don't know about this topic, but I do because I made it. Overkill just celebrated Crime Fest. It was a special event going on in celebration of Payday 2. They released a whole bunch of things every day, including the character John Wick in promotions with Lionsgate Films. They had John Wick as a playable character. They added a bunch of new maps, a bunch of alterations to levels, perks, and they added the addition of perk decks. And what's cool is that every day something new came out, and of course they didn't stop there. As one of their biggest things came out, they finished one of their biggest events. Can I really like not talk today? Apparently there's like tequila in this thing that I'm drinking. They are now going straight into their Halloween special, guys. Do you think more publishers could learn from Overkill and possibly make events like these? We'll go with Murph.
Oh, see. I think this is good. That's what they do. It's supporting ongoing products. I don't think they're unique in this. I know that From Software and the lead up to the Dark Souls DLC also kind of held, maybe not quite as elaborate, but they definitely added some kind of like changes to the world. And I'm like a super huge Dark Souls fan. You could check me out on the Bonfireside Chat podcast.
Really?
Where I
Huh.
guested on a couple of episodes with Gary and Cole, which is
Really?
a deep delve into the Dark Souls lore, essentially.
Murph, I listened to that show.
Oh,
I didn't
yeah.
know that.
Yeah, I'm on the, let's see, on for Dark Souls I was in the Painted World,
I'm learning things today. This is great.
and on Dark Souls 2 I was on the Skeleton Lords episode.
Really hope you start plugging this show when you're on that.
Well, you know, I wasn't on that show quite yet. But yeah, no, I know Gary and Cole, and they're great guys. But no, yeah, I love it whenever a publisher adds that continuous support. I'm trying to think of someone else who does it really well. So someone
Tripwire
else say
does
something.
that with Killing Floor.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
That's
There you
true.
go.
Yeah,
Oh, it's
I know they
kinda-
had the Halloween event that's going
New
on
guns,
right
new
now.
maps. Halloween is big. Christmas is big. Any publisher is smart if they continue to put money into their product because it keeps people coming back to your game, right? Which is what you want.
Yeah.
Those
Oh,
microtransactions add up over time.
Well, I find microtransactions just gross in general, but I think what was mentioned before, FTL put out a free expansion because FTL had been out for like a year or two, and like the hype had been waning, but it was still a good game. But then they put out a free expansion, and then suddenly, hey, not only are you going to get new, like your old fans playing FTL, which my Steam clock I think says like 100 hours.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's a really good game, guys.
I know I can't get into it.
Oh man,
It's hard.
It's so hard. But
But
once
those
so
returning
hard.
players will bring new players in too.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
I mean, and just if you put out a good expansion pack, people will buy your game.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's
That's
a good way to get more mileage out of your existing product, and it takes a lot less effort to make a small add-on or a small DLC pack than to make a whole new game, right? But you can still bank on that,
Exactly. All right,
whether
gentlemen.
it's paid DLC or not.
Final thoughts. Murph, do you have an indie game that you recommend?
Oh, are we doing it? Are we going to talk about Americano?
We can talk about Americano if you want, unless you want to tease that into next week.
No, because I've got something else for you guys. Because of the Humble Bundle actually for next week.
All right, so nothing special for you then? Any other spots you want to promote yourself in?
No, just my current podcast, the Dork Night podcast. It's basically a dorky, just more general topics on dork and nerd behavior. Check us out at dorknight.com.
All right. Clegg, final thoughts.
Sounds good. Murph, we gotta talk Lords of the Fallen after this.
Oh,
Because
we
that's
do.
Dark Souls-ish, and I have the play button. I'm hovering over it now, and I haven't pressed it for the last hour. As you know, I've been restraining myself.
I tried to buy it today because I'm going to do it on PS4, but they were out. I went to go get it.
But listen to Murph's Dark Souls show and play Lords of the Fallen. That's what I'm gonna say.
It's not my show. It's I just guessed it on.
Oh,
two
sorry.
episodes.
Okay, yes.
Eventually, I'm going to get guests on here, and I'll have them plug their stuff as well.
Well, on the bright side, I can't plug anything except for Murph's show and Murph's other two podcasts that one that he guest spots on, and I got nothing. I'm done.
Apparently,
Kaboom.
Metallica was announced to play at BlizzCon. I don't know
Oh, yeah.
why.
Oh, yeah, that's something. That's something.
Who gives a
That-
shit?
I'll just leave it. on
That'll
that.
be a show.
All right.
That'll be a thing.
So next week, we're going to be talking about Murph's game. We might get maybe a little bit more elaborate on Marvel, the whole release, and a whole bunch of new stuff as well. So for Curtis, Daniel, and Murph, I've been Chase. Thank you guys very much for watching, and we will see you all next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Go watch Murph's podcast.